Is there any evidence that Jesus underwent priestly education? This is based on 3 facts.
And there are also many other things which Jesus did, the which, if they should be written every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. Amen. John 21:25.
Many Muslim friends inquire about where and what Jesus Christ did when he was aged 12 to 30 years old. Why is it not recorded in the Bible? How should we as Christians respond to such questions? So, there's a silent period of 18 years, from the age of 12 to 30. This silence, if we follow this pattern of thought, led to many writers attempting to fill it with their own interpretations and assumptions throughout the centuries, especially after the time of the apostles beginning in the late 2nd century CE. Various speculations began to emerge. These fantastic stories eventually became apocryphal and pseudographical writings. This literature has been referenced by heretical groups. An example of such apocryphal writings is the Arabic Gospel of Infancy from the 7th century CE. It tells the story of Jesus speaking as a baby, while in Mary's arms, saying, "Ana huwa Yasua ibn Allah," I am Jesus, the Son of God, delivering glad tidings from the angel Gabriel and his mission to save the world. Similarly, the story from the Gospel of Matthew 2:13-15 about the flight to Egypt, found in the false Gospel of Matthew from the 5th century CE, was embellished with extravagant tales, such as date trees bowing to Jesus' command and fresh water flowing from beneath them. Likewise, the miraculous stories about teenage Jesus forming birds from clay, as featured in the Greek Gospel of Thomas from the 3rd century CE, became popular among heretical Christian sects in the Arab lands prior to the birth of Islam. From the descriptions above, it's clear that any theories seeking to explain the silent period of Jesus will remain as mere clever speculations. These theories wouldn't even arise if we understand the Jewish culture and religion, which was the backdrop of Jesus' life. Born of a woman, born under the law Galatians 4:4. Why is Jesus only depicted at his birth at 12 years old, and again after the age of 30? From a Jewish perspective, this is not unusual, as according to Jewish tradition, a man could only teach publicly at the age of 30. In Jewish law, a child's age is categorized into 8 stages. 1, a yield, infant. 2, yonach, nursing. 3, alel, older than nursing. 4, gemuel, weaned age. 5, taf, age of walking. 6, ilem, children. 7, nar, adolescence. And 8, al-bakr, young man. From the Gospels, we only read about 3 of these age classifications: infant, yield, weaned age, gemuel, when he was presented at the temple before Simeon and Anna, and adolescence, bakr, at the age of 12 when Jesus was taken to Jerusalem by his parents, Joseph and Mary.
And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. Luke 2:42.
Why did Jesus appear at the age of 12? This is because the age of 12 was highly significant in Jewish tradition during the time of Jesus. In Jewish legend, at the age of 12, the prophet Moses left Pharaoh's palace. Samuel received a divine vision. Prophet Solomon began to receive the wisdom of God, and King Josiah received a vision for great reform in Jerusalem. As part of the Jewish rite, Jesus had to perform Aliyah ascent to the stage in the synagogue, Bema, and stand at the lectern to receive the yoke of the Torah. This ceremony took place on the Sabbath, and was also called Tefillin Shabbat. Since the Middle Ages, the age for bar mitzvah was set at 13. According to medieval Jewish literature, at the age of 12, every Jewish child would begin to receive Ruah, the spirit of wisdom, and at the age of 20, they would receive a Neshama, the reasonable soul. In Bava Batra 21a, the rabbis believed that Jewish education, chinuch, starts at home, with a father having the responsibility to introduce the Torah to his children. The stages of Jewish education, chinuch, are as follows. Mikra, reading the Torah from the age of 5. Mishnah starting from age 10. Mitzvot at age 13 in Jesus' time. 12 was the age of bar mitzvah. Talmud at age 15. Midrash madrasa level at age 20 during Jesus' time. Two well-known Beit Midrash institutions were Beit Hillel and Beit Shammai. Teaching publicly was only permitted after the age of 30. The Bible doesn't provide detailed accounts of Jesus' activities. During his childhood and early adulthood, there are only implicit references to this period. One of them is,
And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my Father's business? And they understood not the saying, which he spake unto them. And he went down with them, and came to Nazareth, and was subject unto them. But his mother kept all these sayings in her heart. Luke 2:49-51.
Notice the phrase, "Why were you looking for me?" I must be in my Father's house. Jesus said this when he was in the temple in Jerusalem. So, from that verse, if we relate it to the Jewish culture of that time traditionally, we can understand that every child of Israel had to attend school until the age of 17 to 19. Then, upon reaching the age of 20, the madrasa age, those who wanted to continue their theological education could enter priestly or Torah teaching education. Jewish priestly education lasted for approximately 10 years, starting from the position of assistant priest, young priest, to head priest. The temple became the place of education for priests and Torah scholars. Is there any evidence that Jesus underwent priestly education? This is based on 3 facts. 1. The Jewish priestly education period indeed was about 10 years. Ages 20 to 30. This is currently followed by many synods in their clergy programs. 2. Graduates of the priestly school were usually called rabbi or teacher. This title was distinctive because it signified a position. Not everyone could be called rabbi or teacher. Even Torah scholars and Pharisees respected Jesus and called him rabbi because they knew that Jesus had an educational background equivalent to, or even higher than, theirs.
And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act. John 8:3-4.
3. Not everyone had the right or access to teach in the temple. Even John the Baptist did not do so, because only those with a priestly and Torah education background were allowed to teach in the temple, and because Jesus held the title rabbi, he was permitted to teach in the house of God.
And early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. John 8:2.
From the stages of Jewish education in Jesus' time, and his religious and cultural background, it's clear that speculations about the 18 missing years of Jesus' life have no historical basis.